I was working on a rambling video about Double Masters and was going to share my thoughts on the, let's just say, overpricedness of it. And then Prof and others released their videos, and because, great minds think alike and all that jazz, I decided not to make it, just to move on from that idea. But then yesterday, taking a break from studying, and I see Maro's got some responses out there on his blog, and I was just surprised by some of those responses. So I opened up my old script, was ready to get back to work, and then I just had to take a step back, because I hate how easy it is to be negative. And you want to dissect something that you don't agree with and then tear it apart. And it's just, when I make content, I don't want to be overly negative. And as someone who's not often impressed at how critical someone can be, anyone can be critical. It's not hard. It's cathartic. Yes, especially when you are popular or a lot of people are going to jump on the bandwagon with you, but it's just not the kind of content I want to make. And I just had to take a step back and realize whatever bandwagon I'm jumping on here, louder voices than mine have already said what I really need to say. And from my perspective, that would just be me being overly negative and, again, not really adding anything to the conversation. I got my Patreon chat though, and one of my patrons said, "Why don't you make a positive video about Double Masters?" And I thought, well, because it's impossible. But then I was like, you know what? No, that's a good idea. Let's try and find some of the silver linings to this set. Thank you, Biensono, for the challenge, for the suggestion. That's our goal, to try and find some positives around Double Masters. And then at the end, yes, I'll share my frustrations with you, the SparkNote version. Let's get into it. The first positive thing about Double Masters, I suppose, is that Wizards is going to surprise us in a good way every now and again, right? They said master sets were done, kaput, no more, psych, they're back. And from a purely product standpoint, they are better than ever. I mean, a pack having 2 rares and 2 foils in it is a big deal, is a huge deal, actually. I mean, if we compare this thing to Ultimate Masters, it's like you're buying 1 pack, you're getting 1 half off. I get that the commons and uncommons can add some value to the pack for sure, but the heavy hitters, those are the rares and the foils, and we got them doubled in these packs. Is it a bit of a stretch? Yes, but Wizards could have charged probably $20 for these things and they still would fly off the shelves. So I guess from a pricing standpoint, the silver lining is it could have been worse. And if we further that comparison to Ultimate Masters, I feel confident saying Double Masters is going to have more value than Ultimate Masters did, with the packs being within $1 or $2. I get why Wizards is, or at least Maro seems to be, surprised at the backlash this Double Masters product has received, because there's not much difference in the price, but there is seemingly going to be a substantial difference in the expected value and the contents of the booster pack, and Wizards has not done a comparable price increase on them. So it just could have been worse. But those silver linings still don't really change the fact that this is $15 a pack and thus out of the price range or justifiable price range of many a Magic player. So what are the other silver linings to look at for this product? Man, this is tough. The first one I guess I'll throw out there is with regards to the fear of missing out. Let's just be honest, Wizards is putting out a ton of products, and that fear of missing out is as potent as it's ever been. There's something to be said about not feeling like we need to buy every product Wizards releases. And I get that could sound like just trying to sweep the problem under the rug. I just don't think being in that fear of missing out headspace is a good headspace to be in. That's the one thing I hate about the secret layer drops more than anything, is that it's this fear of missing out pushed to the extreme. Like, buy this now or miss out on it forever until we reprint it in a new way, of course. It's just not a good headspace to be in. It's a good headspace to be comfortable being in, though, where you can get yourself out of it and not allow that temptation to push you to make purchases you just don't need to make. Let's be honest, we could all probably use a little less chaff in our Magic collections and in life in general. It also helps when the premium cards come out of those packages and they're looking like Pringles. Okay, I'm done with that one. Moving on to the next point. The next silver lining is even overpriced master sets are still going to have a significant impact on supply, assuming Wizards prints these things like they printed, let's say, Modern Horizons, which is 2 demand. Even if they're overpriced, there's still going to be a ton of people buying these things, and that's going to really, hopefully, help bring down some of the prices of those singles we're all looking to buy. And if we can resist that fear of missing out, maybe this just helps us pick up those cards we want, and only those cards we want, and we can still buy those singles we want from our LGS or from Card Kingdom and you're still helping out your LGS. You're probably helping them out more buying the singles than buying the booster packs, adding a lot of chaff to your collection, and taking that risk or that gamble on booster packs. This is a tough silver lining. Another one though is Morrow really explained in his latest post about how Wizards is focused on keeping Magic a collectible card game. And he talked about how there is a format for every budget. You can go on Arena and largely play without spending money, or you can look at formats like Legacy or Modern, where decks are easily hundreds, if not into the thousands of dollars. And Wizards' goal is not to make every format have the same entry price point or general, price to get into it in a competitive manner. And I don't know if that's a silver lining for everyone, but if you have a decent or substantial collection, you can rest assured that Wizards is not going to print every card into the ground and make them all say $5 or $10. And for full transparency, I don't think every card should be $5 or $10 max. I think that there is something to be said about the longevity and the staying power the game has because of people being so entrenched in their collections carrying a lot of value, and in them having some amount of confidence that that value is rather stable or could grow. I'm not trying to get into the MTG finance. I'm not trying to get into the reserve list. I'm just saying in general, I think that the game is better off having more expensive cards. Do I think $100 fetch lands make sense? No, but I do want us to have those cards that we're happy to own, that are in our collection, and that aren't all just going to tank in value overnight because of a reprint. Yes, these are some very thin silver linings. Maybe the thinnest one of all is that our collective outrage will hopefully be formed and received in a manner in which it's actually constructive and not just people screaming on the internet at other people. Anyway, I think one thing that Wizards has really fallen short on is the perspective they have in creating these products and making Magic cards and making Magic products that in a way align with their mission statement. And in case you're not aware what their mission statement is, it is to bring people together through their shared love of games. And $15 booster packs doesn't do that, like at all. Wizards, like any other company, is going to make mistakes, but it feels like they've tunnel visioned on these profits, and I think Double Masters could be one of these moments where it helps refocus Wizards on creating products that really help get people into the game and entrenched in the game and not just maximizing profits. I also think the backlash will help Wizards push back on Hasbro, because I don't blame Wizards for all of this. I have a hard time not envisioning Hasbro being a driving factor for some of these decisions, and hopefully this backlash helps them understand that just because a product sells does not mean it was successful, and just because it sells doesn't mean that it is not doing damage to the game or doing a disservice to the longevity of the game. All right, let's just put a bow on this video and these silver linings. Double Masters, I think, shows Wizards wants to surprise us. They want to bring new value to old products, and they did it with Double Masters. It's just unfortunate that the price doesn't exactly line up with that mission, I would say. So yeah, is the product perfect? No. Have there been good reasons given to explain the increase in price? Not really, but I think it's like we know the answer. The answer is because they will sell. The answer is because Wizards is going to view it as leaving money on the table, and they're not interested in doing that. Good day. The fear of missing out is real. I think we need to work on not letting that drive our purchasing decisions, because at the end of the day, the secondary market's still going to be there, and hopefully we can cut down on that insider trading so it's not egregious whenever you're trying to buy a single card. That's a whole other rant as well. So we're focusing on the silver linings here, people. Okay. I look forward to buying singles from the people brave enough to crack packs. Next point, does Wizards care about our feedback? God, I hope so. And I hope that we can give that feedback in a meaningful way. Don't just yell at people on the internet or get all snarky and think that you're being super clever and everyone's going to rally around you. Again, no one's impressed by being critical. It might feel cathartic for you in the moment. When something's feeling cathartic like that, that should be a reassessment of yourself and just say, am I really adding something here, or am I doing this to try and make myself feel better? It's usually a good check of if you should press send or post or whatever you're doing. I also want to say, I don't believe anyone at Wizards, anyone that loves Magic and is working at Wizards, is trying to do harm to the game. Like you and I, right? We all love Magic, and I choose to believe that the people working at Wizards love it too, and they don't want to damage the game, and they sure as heck don't want to have their legacy tied to decisions that hurt the game, or be the one that people point to and say, you're the one that ruined Magic. No one wants that. Everyone wants the game to be successful, be popular, keep growing, and I think we need to voice our concern in a meaningful way that helps drive positive change. Last but not least, will I be buying any double masters? Right now, I don't plan on it. If you want to send me a box, I have my address in the description. You are more than welcome to stipulate how I open it. I can climb one of these mountains and show y'all why the channel is called Mountain Man Magic. Open the box, film it, me at the top of a mountain. That would be interesting. But anyway, I don't plan on buying it right now. It's just not something that I can justify spending $300+ on a box of. Oh, and to end, I did say I would share the spark notes of my frustrations with double masters. So here we go. I'm frustrated as much as anyone else. I just want to put that out there. I get it. I hear you. I'm with you. My biggest frustration is I picture, say, me as a kid or my mom going and buying a pack because she wants to surprise me with something, and that kid who saved up his money, birthday money, whatever, and he goes and buys this $15+ booster pack, and he opens it up and he instantly turns that money into $1 of chaff cards. Like that's what crushes me more than anything to think about. And it's so frustrating. It also makes me mad to think that every product from here on out that has meaningful reprints in it is going to have this ever increasing premium. It makes me feel like we're increasing the barrier to play any format, and that's becoming an obstacle too big to overcome for many players, instead of just helping the game become more accessible like you would think a master sets full of reprints, wanted reprints, would normally do or have that mission of doing. It frustrates me that these higher prices make every booster pack feel more like a gamble and less like I'm trying to find the golden ticket. Like more like a lottery ticket than a golden ticket. Golden tickets are good because you find them in candy bars, and if you don't find the golden ticket, you still got a candy bar. You're still happy. But lottery tickets are literally you just burning money in the hopes that if you burn enough, it'll be worth it. Or you're chasing some story about someone else who hit it big or whatever. When people say Magic is opening booster packs is gambling, I get the frustration. I think it's a very valid argument or very valid perspective, especially seeing prices move in this direction. And yeah, I'm happy to see Prof get the opportunity to interview people from Wizards and ask them pertinent questions, but questions around pricing and such are only going to really lead to these superficial answers, because at the end of the day, as I understand it, they can't really be as transparent with us, or else it may lead to some larger consequences that, I mean, frankly, I don't know if anyone really wants for the game. And I guess we all just kind of know the answer, right? The answer is because they will sell. I'm frustrated, but I also love the game, and this hasn't really discouraged my love of Magic in any way. I'm excited to get back to volunteering at the library. I'm excited to put drafts on for the kids once stuff gets closer to back to normal. You know, even though there are a lot of frustrations and there's a lot going on, there's some silver linings here. Like, it could be worse. It's going to help us get over that fear of missing out. It's going to help us hopefully rally around and help Wizards focus on here's the products we want, the pricing we want, the reprints we want. Hopefully we can all just form that feedback in a helpful and more, let's just say, easier to consume manner. So that's it. I shared my frustrations. I guess now it's time to really hear yours. I'd love to know what your thoughts are on Double Masters. Are you happy about it? Not so happy about it? What are you not so happy about? Just let me know in the comments. You want to tell me how your life's going? Let me know. I'm happy to read that, chat with y'all. I really appreciate you watching up to this point. And if you're going to buy anything, including Double Masters, check out Card Kingdom, because they sponsor the channel. You can use my affiliate link, and it just helps them know that I'm worth sponsoring. Would be much appreciated. And thank you to my patrons. If you want to become a patron, you can sign up for $1 a month. You can support the channel for an entire year at less the price than a Double Masters booster pack. I think that's pretty great. But thank you so much for being here. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next video. Take it easy. Peace.